guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about Jeffree Star and the fact that no other person or brand has been blacklisted as thoroughly and consistently and for a long period of time as Jeffree Star has. Not everybody knows Jeffree Star, believe it or not. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to give a very brief summary. Jeffree Star owns a makeup brand called Jeffree Star Cosmetics. He used to be a singer and he's a socialite basically, but he owns his brand now of, makeup. And he has a very negative past and probably present, because he would make it a point to make derogatory remarks regarding women, specifically women of the chocolate variety, if you know what I mean. And the negative things that he said is all over the internet. I'm not gonna post it. I'm not gonna go into detail about what exactly he said because it's all over the internet, but they were derogatory, no doubt about that. There's a lot of proof. There's video proof. There is proof on social media of him attacking Shayla. I believe the name that she goes by is Makeup by Shayla or Makeup Shayla. And he also went after Jackie Aina, and he went after a whole bunch of people, and including some random black girl that was standing in line in, I believe, a restaurant some many years ago. That was caught on video, and some skits that he did that was just in very poor taste. So there's abundance of proof that he is the R word, definitely. So people go very hard on him, and he, as a result of all his behavior, he was blacklisted from he was just blacklisted, right? Period. Like, he was canceled even before canceling was a thing. But the thing is, Jeffree himself was not aware of how canceled he was, because he has fans that really like him and they still purchase his products. The problem is, when he tried to expand his business and move into stores, he realized that his past actions are coming back to haunt him, and most stores will not accept his products on their shelves because he comes with very negative publicity and he is a big risk to the brands, any brand that allows him into their store. So only after this started happening that he finally realized how canceled he truly was. But by the time he came to this realization, it's already too late. A lot of damage has been done to his name and his brand and anybody that tries to associate with him. At some point, Kim Kardashian tried to work with Jeffree and to be friends with him and to tell basically the black community to get over whatever Jeffree did to them. And Kim has a makeup brand herself. So as soon as she began to support Jeffree Star, Kim Kardashian began to get a lot of backlash, and she did not want to risk her brand. So her brand was successful. There's no need for her to risk her brand for somebody else who's basically trashing their own brand. And she pulled away from Jeffree so fast. She gave an apology and she never worked closely with him after that. Kim's brands are in stores right now. Jeffree's brand still has been unable to be consistently in any stores. Murphy worked with Jeffree sometime, I believe a couple of years ago or so, and they allowed him to have his products in their stores. However, Jackie Aina spoke out and said she can no longer support brands that allow people like Jeffree with their mentality to have their products in their stores, so she will stop supporting those types of brands. Murphy started to get backlash. Murphy pulled away from Jeffree, and now Jeffree is not in any stores as far as I know. He probably may, I don't keep up with him, so it's possible that at this very moment he's in a store somewhere, but as far as I know, he only sells his products online. So it's been quite serious because being able to get his product in stores would have gone a long way to help him. Okay, so that is a quick summary. So back to present day, Jeffree is trying to get himself off the blacklist. Nobody wants to work with him. Nobody wants to be closely associated with him because of the negativity and dark cloud that surrounds his name. So to do that, Jeffree has done any and everything from putting black models in his promos on Instagram. It used to be that you would never see any black models in his Instagram photos and his Instagram posts when he posts his brand. But slowly he began to incorporate some black models, and the black models were barely, you could barely tell that they're black, but eventually he began to put some really dark models in his products promos. People still did not buy that he was a changed person, even though he gave apology after apology after apology. Nobody's just buying it because occasionally you get to see the old Jeffree where he does something that reminds you that he has not really changed. He's so nobody really believed that he's changed, and because of that he stayed blacklisted, because he continued to show people that side of him that he claims he no longer has. So a few months ago, Jeffree decided on a new tactic to get himself off the blacklist. He decided to date a black guy called Marold. I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Marold. Anyway, I will call him Marold because that's the way it's spelled. He went into a relationship with a black guy, something he's never done before. He does not even have any dark-skinned friends. All the dark-skinned friends he has, he ends up, insulting in derogatory ways, and they end up, running away from him. He lost all of his other friends, dark, pink, purple, whatever colors they are. He lost all of them due to his behavior. So he went into a relationship with a guy called Marold in order to make himself look like he actually likes black people. This is after his relationship with a guy called Nathan ended. Now Jeffree and Nathan had some chemistry and they were together for some time. But Jeffree and this Marold guy, as far as I can see, they have zero chemistry. It just seems so transactional. Jeffree himself never claimed that he dated Marold. He just said that they were in, they had something going, but it was not a relationship per se. Okay, so they weren't dating. But yeah, Marold was supposed to be his ticket out of the blacklist because Marold is dark skinned, Marold's a black guy, and how can Jeffree, not like black people if he's dating a black guy? So he's trying to associate himself with a lot of black people, including recently Black China, from what I saw. But the Marold guy had his own agenda, and clearly he he is not the straightest arrow. I'm not sure where Jeffree found this guy. I did not really look deep into how they met, but he found him somewhere. And it turns out that the relationship did not last at all. There was a lot of scandal that surrounded this Marold guy, saying that he had a wife and he had a child, although I'm not sure if I believe that, because the statement that his so-called wife made, she was referring to their child, but she kept saying my son, my son. Never once did she say our son or our child. It just seemed as though I'm not sure if it's both their children or just her child. But the Marold guy did not help Jeffree out of the blacklist like Jeffree thought that he would. Instead, he helped himself, allegedly, based on what I've seen on social media recently. He helped himself to I'm sorry. He helped himself to some of Jeffree's designer clothing and shoes and whatever else he could get his hands on. And it unfolded recently on social media when Jeffree claimed that he's been trying to reach Marald, but Marald would not respond to his calls, and that Marald took some things that belonged to him. And Jeffree was quite upset.
Hello, you guys. All right, I did not plan on coming on here today for a little... So grab a Red Bull and let's dive in, because I just hopped on Twitter and there's a lot of Jeffree Star got robbed, Jeffree Star got this and that. Just let me tell you what Jeffree Star did and didn't do. Listen, I'm sure a lot of y'all can relate, but sometimes when you meet people, surprise, they're not who they say they are. So y'all, real quickly, Jeffree Lynn got a little played. So I've been hanging out with someone, just two grown adults having and chilling, nothing serious, but I was presented a whole different person than who this man really was. So, and that's fine. Y'all know out there, I'm sure a lot of you out there have dated or dealt with or even hung out with some shady people, and yes, it happened to me. So about a week ago, Jeffree Lynn discovered a lot of things, and this person secretly no job, no money, not even a bank account, and we're talking this person's 30 years plus. So all these things that I were told were all false, and I was lied to, and I was like, okay, bye, sweetie, it was really good meeting you, thanks, bye. And then all of a sudden, there's some Louis Vuitton luggage missing. There's some backpacks missing, and there's a few sunglasses missing. So Jeffree Star got robbed. No, someone just stole a few things. Now, I know, Jeffree, you can just rebuy it. I'm not complaining about no value, no money. It's just a principle. I don't care if someone steals a nickel off your counter. It's wrong. And if you revel and enjoy anything, if you enjoy bad news for anyone, including me, you're sick. Because I logged on Twitter and y'all, some people are like, yes, someone got him. I'm like, there's a special place in hell for you. But yeah, so some designer shit got stolen from me, and it isn't about what it is. It's just about the principle. It's just sad. So instead of answering the phone, this person was just posting like they were still at my house.
So I think it is safe to say that Jeffree's plan just isn't working. He has tried everything under the sun to get off this blacklist, but nothing he does works, even though there is a very simple solution that he seems to keep missing. But before I say what the solution is to get himself off the blacklist, here's what I want to say about this Marald guy. This guy that Jeffree tried to use to make himself look better is just not the best choice he could have made. There are way too many shady things surrounding him, and the guy himself does not command much respect. He's just some random guy who's out for himself. His character seems a bit shady. He's supposed to be some kind of a model, a fashion model, because there's random videos of him modeling, and I don't know if he owns the modeling company or he's the model. It's his story is just very confusing, and then nobody knows if he's truly married or if he truly has a child with this random woman that keeps saying that they have a child together. There's just too much shadiness. This is not the right way for Jeffree to go about it. And this Marald guy does not seem to take himself very seriously, so obviously people don't take him very seriously. He hasn't even bothered to make a definitive statement as far as all of this that's going on. He's just posting little shady comments on social media to promote whatever it is that he's trying to promote. So anyway, this path that Jeffree's taking is not going to work. Even if Jeffree decides to choose someone else and date that person in order to make himself and his brand look good to get off the blacklist, that's not going to work. Okay, now here's what's going to work for Jeffree to finally get him off the blacklist and possibly get his products in stores like he wants. Jeffree Star needs to stop inserting himself into drama. Whatever drama it is, whether it concerns him, whether it's about him, whether it's about someone else, and he wasn't mentioned, he needs to stop involving himself into drama. Last year, when the Jordan Woods situation was unfolding with Tristan Thompson and the Kardashians, Jeffree ran to social media and started to run his mouth about Jordan Woods, even though he does not know her personally. And what he said about her was not in support of her. Even though what he said was not racial and had nothing to do with that directly, as far as what we could hear, people are going to file that under, oh, here he is, he's doing this again, he's the R word. And that's because as a result of his past, people's minds are primed to think of him and any criticism that he gives to any black person as that's him being the R word again, just as usual. So he just needs to stop and be quiet sometimes. It is not that difficult. So he needs to just stop inserting himself into anything that's drama related, but he's not going to do that because it helps him sell products. So I'm sure he's not going to do that. But this is what's going to help him. The Kardashians, and there are many other brands out there, Fenty Beauty, they don't talk about drama. They're just busy promoting their brands and they're doing really well. So if he does the same, he already has a fan base, he will do really well as well, and people will begin to get a more positive impression of him, and that will help his brand a lot. He also needs to show genuine support. That's another thing he can do. There's so many things going on right now surrounding the black community. He can show some genuine support, and it needs to be original. It can't just be some little hashtag thing that he slaps right next to his products. If it's not genuine, people can tell. People can fish that right out through the internet, through their computer screens. So if it's not genuine, it's best he doesn't say anything at all. The final thing he needs to do is he needs to be nice to people. Just be nice to everyone. It is not that difficult. Word gets around, especially concerning celebrities. People know him, so the things that he does will get around. If he's nice to people, people will hear about it, and people's ideas about him will begin to change for the better. I think that these are the ways that Jeffree Star can fix his image, fix his brand, and finally get his products into stores like he wants to, but it'll come at a high cost, which is some genuine character change, because for someone in his 30s, his behavior is, extremely childish and just not where it needs to be if he wants to grow his brand. That's all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.